What's up everybody, it's CJ and I'm back with another Pleasantville renovation video. So today we're going to be furnishing 130 Sim Lane. This is a 4-bedroom and I believe a 4-bathroom house, if memory serves me right. There's a lot of bathrooms here, y'all. Now, it's so interesting because when I first saw this house, I didn't know this was an EA house because I was like, this looks like maybe like somebody built it because it looks too good to be true, right? And I went to the Sims wiki just to see, like, you know, is this a house? And apparently it is. And I'm really surprised because, like, finally a good sim build. Very interesting. So I'm furnishing it today. I just wanted to make some slight adjustments outside, primarily with the roof and the wallpaper and stuff like that. But like overall, it's a nice house, especially the outside. Like when you go inside, there are some issues, but outside, it's not that bad. Y'all, I need to rant for a second. So this is my second time attempting to furnish this house. So I don't know what it is lately, but I feel like my Sims 3 game has been going crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't know if it's because I have a new graphics card and the game is like, CJ, what is going on here? When I did get my new GPU, I did, you know, have to go back and make the game recognize it, and I had to do all the stuff with NVIDIA, like turn on VSync and all that, and cap the frame rate. So the first time when I went to go furnish this house, I was in the living room and I was trying to get the fireplace, and then as soon as I went to go grab the fireplace to place it down, the game crashed, and I was like, okay, maybe I should just do a different house. It's fine. I'll just start over somewhere else. I find another house that I want to furnish, and I start furnishing it, and I actually finish furnishing it. But for some reason, as soon as I went to go into edit town mode, for whatever reason, the game decided to crash. And what was kind of sad was that I was saving as I was furnishing the second house, but it had been like an hour since I had last saved, so only like half of the house was furnished. And yeah, and I was like, well, maybe I could just like furnish it off camera, but I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to have everything match up 1-1 because, you know, I used the color wheel. So I was like, maybe I should just start over and just go back to the first house. So luckily I was able to furnish this house. I don't know what's going on with the Sims 3. Even when I stream now, if the game doesn't crash, my sim will be unresponsive, where like the game will sometimes glitch him out the house where he doesn't even live there anymore, or it will like make it where I can't click on the phone to make a phone call. And usually, you know, you would think maybe it's like a mod issue or like something that conflicts, but I haven't really added new mods to my Sims game. And honestly, I haven't really even added new CC either. So I don't know what's going on. I might have to just do like a fresh reinstall. I was telling Rakowski about it, and he had suggested that, you know, maybe I should do a reinstall. So maybe I might do that. So hopefully my game won't be going crazy anymore. But with all that being said, I don't really have a storyline for this house. You know, usually I have a storyline or Sims in mind for a certain house. I don't really have it today because I didn't really, I didn't think I would be going back to this house, so I didn't really think of a story. But the idea that I had for this house, though, is it's just a really nice family home. You know, maybe a little bit basic with the color scheme, but it's a very nice family home that could honestly fit any family, honestly. There's 4 bedrooms, there's a ton of bathrooms in here, there's a lot of space on the inside too, so even if you don't like my layout, you can go in and like change it. We kind of start off now in the living room, so I'm using these chairs from the Ambitions pack, which honestly, I use them sometimes, but I don't really use them that much, but they're really cool chairs. They're just like a really nice basic couch, you know? I'm using a couple of those. I do have a fireplace in here, and I'm gonna just tell y'all now, there probably will be a fire. So I have another family that I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm doing the Jam Legacy, and that sim has a fireplace in his living room, and it just sometimes catches on fire. I don't know if it's because we have wood floors or not, but yeah, it just randomly catches on fire, and that's so weird because I know in The Sims 3, if you have like a rug, I think it's in The Sims 4 too, if you have a rug in front of a fireplace or underneath it, it will catch on fire, but like we don't have a rug by that fireplace in that save file, so I don't know what's going on with it. It's kind of weird. Luckily that sim has the pyromaniac hidden trait, so he can't burn in a fire anyway, but it's very weird. So Blythe, one of my viewers was like, CJ, maybe put some stone underneath the fireplace and see if that helps. So I haven't had a fire since, so hopefully, you know, we won't get a fire. But I'm saying all that to say that there most likely will be a fire in the living room with this house, but you know, I like the aesthetic. Maybe don't turn the fireplace on. Maybe don't have it turned on. So now we move on to the kitchen area. So I really liked those original countertops, those modern ones from the base game. I never use these because usually when I build stuff in Sims, I tend to have a budget that I want to try to follow, and these are like some of the most expensive countertops. Not in the game, I don't think, but it's really expensive, especially if you just have base game installed. So like, yeah. So I wanted to kind of use those since this house used them, and I didn't really have a budget for this house anyway. So I have a couple of those. I swapped out the original stove for this nicer one from the base game. I kept the same fridge, but we recolored it, and I kind of just have this little kitchen separated between a like kitchen-y area with the appliances and counters, and then we have a more casual dining space. I've been doing that a lot lately in my sim builds. I just sometimes like to have some separation because I feel like sometimes when you have tile all over a kitchen, it just looks really busy. Depends on like how it is and what it looks like, but sometimes if it has like a checkered print, you know, or like really interesting design, sometimes I feel like it looks too busy. So I'll have a separation between, you know, the dining room, and then we'll have a kitchen. And that reminds me, by the way, too, I did say a couple of weeks ago, or I asked a question if some of y'all would want me to do a build tutorial kind of video where I go over landscaping, floor plans, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you've seen it, but this video is coming out on Monday. So today, for me, it's Friday. So today, but Friday for you, I released a big video that kind of just goes over all that stuff. So if you want to watch it, I will leave that link down below. It's kind of like a 45-minute video. It's a little bit long, but I tried to like take my time, go over everything step by step. I was trying to speak slowly, you know, just so like I don't like confuse anyone or whatever. So yeah, hopefully you'll like it. I show you how to build 2 different houses, and I also go over landscaping, floor plans, my thought process for like furnishing and stuff. So if you ever wanted to know like, CJ, how do you know how to do things? I've been getting like a lot of cool comments lately, and a lot of y'all like, CJ, you're so good at building, or I'm envious of you. And I'll just say, if you ever want to learn how to be better at building and or furnishing, I even say it in the video that I've recorded, you just have to take your time and you have to practice. That is like, to me, the only way, not unless you just somehow great when you first do it, but like, it just takes some practice and some patience, y'all. I have not always been a decent builder or a decent furnisher. Like, I mean, I have proof. Go to some of my older videos, like, they're really bad. I think I'm gonna record a video soon where I fix, you know, those old builds from like 2023. I feel like anything 2023 on back needs to be like, either like bulldozed or it needs to be refurnished, so, or rebuilt, I should say. So I might do that. I think I want to do some videos like that in The Sims 4, because I kind of started building in The Sims 4 before I learned how to build in The Sims 3, if that makes sense. I kind of feel like if you know how to build in one Sims game, you can pretty much build in other games. You might just have to like learn or, you know, like figure out how to do things differently. I learned how to build in The Sims 4 first, so a lot of my bad builds are in that game. And yeah, and it's so crazy because some of those builds I even put on the gallery. I mean, at the time I didn't think it was that bad, but looking back, I'm like, brother, why would you put that on the gallery? Like, CJ, no. I'm telling y'all, it is a blessing that I did not get mean comments, because if I would have got a mean comment on some of those builds back in the day, that would have been it for me. I was like, no, maybe I shouldn't make a YouTube channel. You never know. Now we're upstairs. For the upstairs portion, we have the parents' room. We have, I talked over the whole bill, y'all, but we have a parents' room up here. We have 2 rooms upstairs. So one is for a teenage daughter and the other one is for twin boys. And then the room downstairs that was kind of like dark was for the teenage son. He's the oldest, and I feel like he convinced his parents to let him move downstairs so he could have his own space. And I kind of made that room a little bit more edgy because I kind of figured that he would be going through a phase, you know? So right now, this is the parents' bedroom, by the way. So this bedroom is kind of like an orangey kind of color. Like I said, I didn't really have a particular family in mind, so I didn't really have a story for this one, but I just wanted a nice, like, you know, aesthetically pleasing bedroom. The other bedroom downstairs, the one with the orange bed, that is like for a grandparent in my brain. Like if this was a family, maybe the grandpa would stay downstairs, parents are upstairs, teenage son is downstairs, and then daughter is in one room upstairs, and then twin boys are in the other room. This house also has a back balcony. Originally, I didn't really put anything on the balcony, but when I stopped recording, I looked at it and I was like, there needs to be something here. So I did put a couple of park benches, so that way your Sims will have something to do on the balcony, but I didn't really add too much out there. One thing that is kind of interesting about this house is that it has so many bathrooms, though. I had to like stop recording to kind of figure it out, but I basically just made the rooms a little bit bigger and the bathroom a little bit smaller, just because I felt like you didn't really need a big gigantic bathroom, and I'd rather have a bigger kids room than a bigger bathroom, you know what I'm saying? So the first room, we have a teenage daughter. So I feel like she might have just became a teenager, so her room is still kind of like kiddie-ish in a way. So we have like the unicorn bed, we have a dollhouse in the corner. I wanted to give her a dresser, so I'm using the really small one from the pets pack. I feel like if anything, she's probably really into horses, you know? And then her nightstand comes from university and stuff, so she just became a teenager, so, you know, give her some time, she'll probably, like, have a desk in here, or maybe rotate her bed the opposite way or something. And then her room kind of has, like, a nice, like, pastel kind of colors. blue and pink and purple and stuff like that. So now we move on to the bathroom in the middle. I didn't really do anything too fancy for these bathrooms, y'all, honestly. I did like swap out the shower for a tub, and then I gave them, instead of like having a pedestal sink, I gave them like the counters with the sinks inside of them. And then I also gave them a nicer toilet just so they could have one that maybe didn't break down all the time. And then now we have the twin boys room, which I really like it. Their room is cramped, but I like it. The theme that I went with was like a medieval castle kind of theme, and it's like in a green color scheme. I've done a medieval kids room a long time ago, but never in a green color scheme, so it's a little bit different, I guess. So I'm using the toy box and the bed and the nightstand and the dresser and the chair. All of that is from Generations. We have that big picture of a dragon and a knight, and that's also from Generations as well. I did go back and add a little lava lamp in the corner. There wasn't really like too much I could do because the room isn't that big to begin with, and I didn't want to make things inaccessible. So I did make sure I had move objects turned off for this room just so everything should work. But I gotta say, I like the way the room turned out. It's like really cramped, but in like a realistic way, if that makes sense. I could imagine like a sim growing up in a room like this, you know? And then last but not least, we go to the backyard. So for the backyard, I didn't really do too much out here though. I did just add like a little patio section. So there is a grill and a picnic table, but that's pretty much it for out here. I did go back later on and add some outdoor lights and a couple more shrubs and an extra tree in the back, but that's pretty much it, y'all, for the entire build. So if you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below. I will leave this build link down below as well. And that's all that I have for this video. So bye, y'all. Thanks for watching. Bye.